Lynn. So, thank you for talking to us today. So, just tell us a bit like what your life was like before you started Lighterlife.
Before Lighterlife, I was very unhappy. My life was kids, work, home. Kids, work, home, that was it.
Right.
There was no... I'd get home from work, I'd pick the children up on the way home from work, get home, into my PJs, sort them out, feed them, bath them, put them to bed, and sit there in my PJs on a laptop in the living room watching TV.
Right. Okay.
That was it.
Right. And how did you feel about yourself?
I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I absolutely despised my body. Just didn't feel anything towards myself.
Right. Okay. And how do you think did your kids pick up on that? How did that affect other people, do you think?
I don't think the children picked up on it, but I know that now they say things about the different mum I was when I was fat mummy.
Right. Okay.
Almost like I was a different person.
All right. We talked before about what the trigger might have been for you to think, right, I've had enough. I'm going to make a change. So had you had different triggers like that before? What was that trigger? And just to explain that to me a bit.
That trigger, there'd been a couple, but that main trigger for me was I was getting ready for work one morning. I put my hair up in a ponytail. I didn't wear makeup or anything at the time. I just put my hair up in a ponytail for work, and that was it. And as I put my hair up, I just looked in the mirror and Miss Trunchpole was looking back at me, and it wasn't nice.
Okay, so it was a self-image.
Yes,
so you kind of became aware of your self-image then a bit, and thought, no more.
Yes.
I'm not Mrs. Trunchpole.
I didn't have a neck. I just had a face that went down from there to my shoulders.
Right.
It was just one.
Right. Okay. All right. So you discovered Lighterlife then, and Debbie and Belinda. So just talk to me about that, about how you found coming in to Debbie's environment that she's created, and how that helped you. Just talk to me about that.
Once I'd made the decision to come, there was nothing that was going to stop me. So I'd made the phone call. I'd actually made the phone call to the Lighterlife group for about a month before, and I kind of looked into it and worked out whether I could do it or, and then I'd left it for a few weeks, and then I decided again. And once I decided, there was nothing that was going to stop me. So I came in to see them, sat down and watched the video and had a chat with them, and started 2 days later. And it was the best move I have ever made. It was the best decision I've ever made.
Right. So why particularly do you think it clicked for you? What did you get out of this particular, Debbie's environment and Lighterlife than you maybe hadn't got from other things? What do you think was it that's...
Well, you get the basics of the food packs, which are the structure of, you don't need to think about weighing and measuring and calorie counting, and if I eat this for breakfast, I've got to eat that for lunch, because you're having 4 packs a day.
Right.
So that took the food element out of it. But the main thing for me was the groups and self-discovery in the groups. So working out why I did what I did and how I could change what I do.
So that's a really big thing that we talked about, didn't we, before? But if you go back to where you were living in your working pyjamas, right? Had you even thought that through, the self-discovery bit?
No.
So you were a bit dead to that?
Yes, completely numb. I can't even remember being happy enough to have laughed at any point.
Right.
During those final, probably couple of years, I don't remember laughing. And I was always the person taking a photo.
Right.
I was never on any photos. Nobody was allowed to take photos of me. Even when I had the children, nobody was allowed to take a photo of me.
So how nervous were you about then coming into a weight loss environment? What were you expecting and what did you find, I think?
I think part of me expected coming in to some very, very thin ladies that had never had a weight problem in their life.
Right.
And to come into a real environment where you can see the journey that some of them have taken. Like Belinda, seeing, her big photos to where she is now, it's amazing. Big inspiration. And the encouragement that you got from them constantly. I know that I could get in touch with either Debbie or Belinda at any point if I'm having a really bad day, and just get in touch with them and they'll be there for me.
Yeah. So when you talked about self-discovery, because that's big stuff, right? So people maybe think I'm just going to lose my weight, and that's what's changed my life a bit. But you were saying it's not that; it was the other way around, really.
Yeah, you lose the weight. That's that's going to happen on the packs. But bigger than that, I lost self-doubt. I lost the being uncomfortable with myself. Those were the big things for me.
Right.
I found confidence.
So, what does that mean then? So the impact. So those are things that have happened. You discovered that. So the consequences of not having that was you were work pajamas, sleep,
Yeah.
not laughing. So what's the consequences of the impact now that you've been through that discovery, that period of self-discovery through the environment that Debbie's created? How's life different now then?
I know that there is only one person that's going to stop me doing anything now, and that's me. So my life from then, it's been, but the photos for a start. I'm always on the photos of my children.
Right.
Because if and when in the future I'm gone, they need memories, they need photo memories. But besides that, I do crazy obstacle courses, I go rugby training, I box, I go to the gym. I love life.
What time are you at the gym this morning?
3 o'clock this morning.
3 o'clock this morning.
This week I've been doing spin classes every 12 hours.
Right. And when you say you box, you don't just box, do you?
I'm BBO Ladies Heavyweight Champion.
So you're champion boxer?
Yes.
Okay.
But that was prior to a rugby injury, and I've been out of sport for 2 years.
Right.
And if it hadn't been for Keep Coming to Group,
Right.
then I could quite easily have gone part way back to where I was.
Right. Okay. So what was it about the group then and the keeping the contact with?
Because after losing the weight and everything, I focused my life on. I found this thing I really enjoyed, the passion of sport. When I broke all the ligaments in my knee, obviously the sport went out of the window and I was lost.
Right.
But by coming to group, it kept me focused on, this is a temporary thing.
Yes.
I can get through it.
Yes. You said something the other day. You didn't eat your feelings.
I didn't eat my feelings,
Yeah,
no.
I love that. So I'm interested in your choice of sport as well, right? Rugby and then boxing. Do you like hurting people, or is it?
No, it's adrenaline.
Yes.
It's that adrenaline rush.
Yeah. So I mean, both of those, you're really putting yourself out there, right? That both of them are adversarial, for want of a better expression, and take a lot of courage to go. I mean, I coach rugby, right? So to stand on a rugby pitch and to play rugby takes a lot of courage. So do you recognise the person that you are now, boxing and rugby tackling people, to the person that you were all those years ago?
I'm not even close to being that person anymore. When I was, before my Lighterlife journey, I would never have believed I could have done anything like that. I wasn't an outward sort of person. I was still doing the same job that I'm doing now, but I wasn't as comfortable as I am talking to people and going out. I'd make every excuse under the sun not to go out. And now it's Saturday. That must be a reason to go out.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a day of the week that ends in
Yes.
day.
Yes. So yes, I do. I have a really good social life now. Whereas prior to that, I don't think I'd been out in probably 10 years.
Right. Wow. So as far as regrets, right? If you've got regrets about where you got to, and I know that everybody has their own journey and everybody has, a really deep reason why they eat or why their weight is, why they gain weight. knowing now what you know now, if somebody had come along to you 10 years ago, or how long is it that you've been maintaining now? How long have you been part
I've been
of this?
maintaining now for 6 years.
For 6 years, right? So if you hadn't made that choice 6 years ago to come along, then do you think, how different would your life be now, do you think? Do you think it would have changed? Do you think?
I think I would have still been that same person that I
Right.
was back then, which would have impacted on the children.
Yeah.
Because with the weight loss, it's not just about what it's done for me, it's about what it's done for the children as well.
Yes.
And for me raising them. I don't give them sweets as a treat. I'm not treating them to, high sugar stuff because they're being good. I'm going to make them unhealthy. So it's had a really good impact on all of us. We do a lot more. I would never have been able to go out to trampoline parks with them.
Yeah.
Ride on the roller coasters and things.
What about getting on the beach?
Oh, the beach photos. We do the same beach photo everywhere we go, which is just us all laying on the beach, them all piled on my back. I would never have done anything like that.
No.
It's been a really positive step for me and the children.
So would you say transformation?
Completely different person, yeah.
Yeah.
Completely
And that's a
different.
good thing or a bad thing?
A massively good thing.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the time, you didn't realise that was possible.
No.
No.
And everybody commented that back then, they never said it to me at the time, but back then they say that I always looked angry.
Right.
And everybody always comments now that I've always got a smile on my face.
Yes.
So it's
So
a
it's-
massive change.
Good. So it's not just body confidence and body image, right? Because your trigger was body image,
Yeah.
but you've, from talking to you previously,
Mm.
it's got nothing to do with your body image,
No.
has it? It's got
No.
to do with how you feel
Mm.
about yourself.
Yeah.
So, and how have you got that through the diet? How have you gained that? You said you've lost self-doubt, you've lost self-confidence, or you've gained self-confidence, all of that. How just doing a diet does that happen?
The food element of it isn't how it happens. It was the group element.
Right.
And sitting in, sharing experiences with the ladies, going through, the plans that Debbie and Belinda go through. It's things like that makes you understand yourself.
Yeah.
It's the main thing. It makes you understand yourself, and we all have slips. I know that I could come here and say, oh, I had something the other day that I really shouldn't have eaten. I wouldn't be looked down on, I wouldn't be judged for it.
No.
I'd be accepted, and get back on on with your packs.
So was there a moment, and we haven't talked about this, so you're on the spot. So was there a moment when you came here and you thought, yeah, you know what, this is for me, this is going to make a difference to my life, not just my shape? Like, can you remember that? Or was it just, you just kept going and it was such a lovely environment? Was there a trigger that kept you here? Because we can't get rid of you.
Initially, it was all about the weight.
Yeah.
And coming back that first week and finding that I'd lost a stone in a week was a big thing for me. So it was seeing how much I could lose for the following week. The change in me happened gradually.
Right.
And it just one day I just realised I was different.
Yeah.
Just completely different in everything. More positive outlook, more confident, self-belief. I've never had self-belief in my whole life. At school I was always the fat kid. Yeah. I did the high jump at school and landed on the bar and bent it. I was that child at school. So through my whole life I've always been the fat kid.
And is there a fat kid inside you still trying to get out?
No.
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 Okay, so you've totally shifted that.
Yes.
That
completely
image
gone.
of yourself.
Yeah.
So what's the image of yourself now that you carry around?
That there is only me that's going to stop me from doing anything I want to do.
Right.
And if I want to do it, then I'm going to do it. And I'll find a way to do it.
So when you have this image of yourself, and this is something else we haven't talked about, and this is a bit out there. If you have an image of yourself, you see either like a physical image, or you have this mental picture of what you're capable of. So what have you moved from physical image to mental picture? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know if I ever had a mental picture. It's for me now. It's if I see something and I like the look of it, then I will go for it.
Okay.
That's how I got into the boxing. I saw it advertised. I thought, oh, that looks fun. And then it was a week before the fight when I realised, it suddenly sunk in that I was going to be in a ring in front of hundreds of people.
Yes.
But again, the best thing I ever
So
did.
it was like a proper fight, not
A proper fight.
So
yeah.
So
8
you
weeks
weren't.
of training.
Oh right, okay.
Mm.
And I didn't realise that. So that is pretty. So you had the real chance of having your nose broken in front of a crowd.
Yes.
That is brave.
Mm.
Yeah. Who won, by the way?
Me.
Oh right. Okay.
54 seconds that fight lasted.
All right. Okay. Better be careful what I ask you then.
Mm.
All right. Anything else to talk about?
No, I just had a funny moment at the gym this morning, and I don't even know why it came into my mind. I was doing a video spin class, and there's only me there, and your mind just wanders every so often. I can remember, as well as the mirror thing, I can remember sort of just a few days before that where I realised that if I was walking in a skirt, my legs were actually applauding me.
Right.
My legs were that big that they were actually making a clapping sound
Right.
as I was walking. That just sprung to mind this morning. It just made me laugh.
Yeah.
Mm.
And now you're doing a photo shoot. Tell me about that.
Yes, I'm booked to do a boudoir photo shoot. It should be next Friday.
Okay. And would Miss Trunchpole ever have done that?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
No.
I wouldn't have even got in front of a camera.
Yeah. So I'm interested because that's a bit risky thing to do, isn't it? Really.
Mm.
So how does that make you feel that you're actually doing that?
Obviously, I'm a bit nervous,
Yeah.
but it's just another one of those things. Well, why not?
Yeah. Good on you.
Mm.
Okay. So if I'm sitting at home now thinking about, I want to, I want this transformation in my life, right? So I recognise where you were, and I want to get where you are. What words of encouragement might you give me, or would you give me some advice? Or if I came to group tomorrow and you were here, just talk to me a little bit about that. What you might recommend or not, or your experience of the diet.
I'd say if I was talking to me back then, I'd say do it. It will give you more than you've had in your entire life, and more confidence. You will be a different person. You'll get that self-belief. That's the main thing for me. Self-belief. Believing that anything is possible. There's nothing going to hold me back now. So, just do it.
Just do it. Okay, thank you very much for your time.
That's all right.